mean a doobie 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 dee doo. Yes, it's a doobie.
So last year I wrote my first Christmas song, and this year, as it turns out, I needed it more than ever. So yesterday was Christmas. Maybe not by the time you're watching this, but for me right now, yesterday was Christmas, and I spent it with all myself. Yeah, I didn't go home. Not many people were here. My whole family was kind of all over the place, and thanks to this polar vortex of a storm, I couldn't go anywhere. So it was pretty weird. And for me, when weird things happen, I tend to think about, like, what did I learn from this? You know, like, what's the takeaway here? And honestly, I can say that this year I learned absolutely nothing. Reason being because this is not the first time I spent Christmas by myself. Oh, no. Let's flash back real quick to 2017. I'm 20 years old. Well, actually, I was 21 by the time Christmas came around. And my whole life, I had always wanted to spend Christmas at Disney. Like, what could be more magical than that? I was brand new to Orlando. I was working at Disney World at a little French bakery in Disney Springs called Amaret's Patisserie. If you've ever heard of it, it's really cool. And if you are familiar with Disney, you know that they are open on Christmas. And if you've ever been a cast member, you know that if you're full time, you got to work on Christmas. It's just a thing. So at first, of course, I was bummed. Wasn't with my family. You know, I knew I wasn't gonna be with my family. I was like, yeah, I'll be at Disney World, but like I'm working. And I'll be with my coworkers, but not like just my regular friends. So yeah, it was weird. I was bummed. And then I was determined. So what do? I go straight to the proprietor of our fine establishment, and I'm like, Matt, hear me out. On Christmas, I know it's against Disney code, our Disney look thing. Disney's very specific about what you can wear and stuff. But on Christmas, could we wear some like festive stuff? Could we wear like at least just a Santa hat? Let's just a Santa hat. And he's like, man, I don't know. I'm really not supposed to. It's against Disney look. I don't know. And I'm like, I hear you. But think about this. We're working on Christmas and we want to get festive. We want to like bring in the holiday spirit. And if we're happy, if we're festive, the guests are going to be happy and festive. Is that not our job? Like, is that not what Disney's about? To be happy and to kind of bend the rules a little bit to make sure that the guest has the best experience. If we're in the holiday spirit, they're going to be in the holiday spirit. And he was like, let me think about it, which was enough for me. That was a yellow light, in my opinion. In the meantime, I go to all my fellow cast members. That's what they call employees at Disney World. Go to all my cast members and I'm like, none of us want to be here on Christmas. I know it. So let's bring in like brownies, cookies, popcorn, whatever you can. I'm working on getting us being able to like dress up a little bit. But the least we can do is come in with like some holiday spirit. In our rinky-dinky little apartment, I went out and spent about $40 on a Christmas tree and a nativity scene and some stockings that I put me and my roommate's initials on. Well, that was going well. Every time I saw Matt from that point on, we would talk briefly and he'd kind of give me an update. And usually it was, I don't know, I'm still thinking about it. I'll let you know. Until one fateful night, Christmas Eve, I was on break. I was upstairs. He was coming the other direction. Passed her in the hallway. Before I could even make eye contact with him, he stops and he goes, "Fine, Josh, y'all can wear Christmas things on Christmas." And at that point, I don't remember if I bear hugged him, jumped on him, kissed him on the mouth, or just ran away. I kind of blacked out, but I was excited. So yeah, there we go. Come Christmas morning, I wake up, felt really weird to not be with my family, but FaceTimed them. You know, it was bittersweet. We talked for a little while, hung up. And then I got ready, went to work, brought some stuff, threw on my Christmas hat, my lights. I get there and everyone showed up. People brought like family recipes of desserts. People brought breakfast. People were wearing hats and lights and sweaters, and it was just so good. It was awesome. So I think I worked like a 12-hour shift that day, and at one point they were like, "Hey Josh, you seem like you have espresso running through your veins. You should go outside and bring people in, and bring in like the Christmas spirit. Just go hype people up." And the day went on. It was nothing special, just a normal day, honestly. But I remember getting home, saw my roommates briefly, played guitar, and I was like, this was very weird. I have always wanted to spend Christmas at Disney. That sounded like a dream come true when I was, 8 years old and 20 years old too. But yeah, obviously this wasn't ideal, but still, it seemed like it would be cool. I thought it would be cooler. I, worked hard to get to Orlando in the beginning, And then at the end of it, I was like, this sucked. And so every year since then, Christmas has always felt a little bit different, you know, because every little thing that was not traditional or went kind of wrong, like, yeah, all the food's burnt, we gotta eat pizza now. Or yeah, we live in Florida and it's 75 degrees outside and there's no snow and everyone's really freaking loud. I was always like, Christmas bliss. Blissmas. Everything just felt different from that point on, because I was like, even if everything's going wrong, I would rather be here, things going wrong with you guys, than at Disney World without you. And I can say that from experience. And same goes for this year. Like, we weren't together, but like I said, there was no lesson to be learned. I hung out with, you know, my roommate and some friends, and talked to my family and people that I love on the phone, and it just was what it was. But I knew that I'd much rather be with them. But in a weird way, still felt more connected this year than, you know, I maybe had in years past, because it was very clear that we wish it could have been another way. And as always, made the most out of it. It was a weird Christmas, but I wouldn't say it was a bad Christmas. But you can't control everything, especially as you get older. It gets harder. You know, things happen. We do everything we can, but you can't control a polar vortex coming in out of nowhere. And so yeah, that silly song I wrote last year about everything kind of going wrong, but that making it very much us. I got to sing over and over again this year at shows and in my room and with friends. And after spending Christmas away from my family, essentially alone, except for a few friends, that song proved to mean more to me now than it even did last year. So, and that is one thing that makes me just love songwriting so much. It's like a little bottled emotion that you can just rub a lamp and use it whenever you want. Yeah, so whatever you did this year, whoever you're with, I hope you made the most of it. I hope you're with loved ones. And I hope even when things go terribly wrong, you can make it magical. A simple reminder that the magic that is made, the memories that are made, be it at Disney World, on Christmas, at your little cousin's bar mitzvah, it has 100% to do with the people you're with and 0% to do with what you have or where you are. So, Merry Christmas.